Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the new and improved Catching the Facts podcast here on the Catching the Facts official podcast network. I'm your host, Dan Sisk,
And I'm Eric Schroeder.
and we are coming to you live from our new independent home. Eric and I recently started our own little version of this show. If any of you are familiar with our work in the past, we used to be working for WSVC Radio for St. Vincent College, and we would like to formally thank all of the staff there for their help in getting our show to the masses, specifically President Matt Boyer and VP Jacob Acasa. The two of them really helped to support our show for an extended period of time. But I'm no longer a student at St. Vincent College. Poor Eric is stuck there. I feel bad for him. I really do. No, it's fine. It's a great school. But because of that, I really wanted to continue podcasting, and I loved having Eric work with me. So I kind of poached him from WSVC. I'm not going to mince words there. I poached him, and now we're going to do Catching the Facts on our own. And Eric, I think we're both really excited about this.
Yeah, we are. I mean, this is going to be really exciting. So,
Yeah.
yeah, ready to get into it.
Definitely. So basically, guys, this season is going to be a lot different from what we did during the last year at WSVC. We're going to be covering the NFL as well, which is something that Eric in particular really wanted to do. And I know we weren't really able to do that given the circumstances that were at WSVC, but now we have the freedom to do whatever we want, which is really, really cool. So we're going to be able to talk about the NFL each week with you guys, and that's really, really exciting. So, Eric, you ready?
I am. Let's do it.
Okay, so this week we're basically going to be recapping week 1 of the standard NCAA college football season. The NFL starts next week. I know there was a week 0 in the NCAA, but we didn't have all of our own equipment ready when that was about to record. And let's be honest, Eric, I don't think either of us really wanted to talk about Iowa State's walk-off win in Dublin.
Not really.
I mean, with all due respect to Iowa State, they're not a bad team, but we know how that dance is going to end. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not really a big factor in the sport. So, congrats, I guess, to Iowa State. I don't know. I mean, it was a decent game. I watched part of it. I mean, it was fine. Um, but yeah, we're here to talk about week 1. However, a trade happened in the National Football League last week that was so seismic that Eric and I had to talk about it. So Micah Parsons to the Packers. Obviously, a lot of the major networks are talking about this right now. They've said their pieces. In terms of what I want to add to it, I mean, I think Jerry Jones is an idiot. That's my contribution to this discussion. I don't know about you, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I don't know what's going on in Dallas, but nothing good.
I think Jerry's just antiquated. I think he thinks it's the 80s. He thinks it's an old school brand of football, and I think it's really biting him. I mean, we saw how Jim Irsay ended his tenure at the Colts. That didn't end well, and I suspect that Jerry's tenure at the Cowboys is going to end just as poorly. I mean, it really is a situation where there isn't a win for Dallas. They boxed themselves to a corner. They treated Parsons and his agent David Mulligetta extremely poorly, and he wanted nothing to do with them and wanted out. I mean, they did it to themselves.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I understand that like they were gonna give him what was it like $150 million or something.
Yeah,
But obviously he wanted more, and now he got paid, man. They paid him like crazy.
$47 million a year.
Yeah, it's
Think about
nuts.
that for an edge rush. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, 136 million in total guarantees. It's ridiculous. I can't believe it.
Like, I'm really happy for Parsons. I guess we should mention this. Again, anyone who isn't following us over from WSVC, I'm a Penn State fan. Eric, what is your team of choice?
Ohio State.
Yeah, how we do this show together is beyond me, guys. But yeah, so I'm a Penn State guy. Obviously, I'm thrilled for Micah. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's an alumni. Um, I couldn't be happier for him. I will say I think the Packers are legit now, man. Like, they were knocking at the door before, but I think that the NFC is going to be so much fun to watch. I think the AFC is a dud, to be honest with you. I think you have a bunch of teams who think they can compete with the Chiefs, but in the end, they aren't really gonna compete with the Chiefs, you know what I'm saying? Whereas in the NFC, I think the Lions, Vikings, Packers are all going to be strong contenders. Um, just, I mean, they have the best edge rush in the NFL, Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just, it's going to be filth.
Yeah, I mean, this team, honestly, maybe that you could say they're lacking a wide receiver. They don't have a true wide receiver one. That I know they went out and got Matthew Golden, but I mean, they have a really good team right now.
Yeah, they are a
Really good
big.
defense.
Yeah, sorry. They are
No, you're good. You're good.
they're a big trade deadline away from being number one in the NFC. I think.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, and I mean the Cowboys they improved over the season, over the offseason, but this is a huge hit. I mean, giving away arguably one of the best defensive players in the league right now. It's just ridiculous. He's always in the running for Depoy. I don't really understand the move. And Jerry Jones said this was a move to get us successful in the playoffs. This was a move to be better on defense, stopping the run. I don't know how giving away your best edge rusher is ever good to stop the run, but
Jerry.
makes makes
Jerry.
sense
Here's
to me. Yeah.
Jerry. Here's a lesson. If you get people to, if you are able to stop the run, you know what teams are going to do? They're going to pass.
Yeah.
And who do you need when teams pass? You need Micah Parsons. Like,
Exactly.
do they think that Micah Parsons just plays on passing downs? I mean,
Yeah.
I would.
I don't know.
What are they thinking? I just.
I don't know who approved this move, but hey, man, congrats to the Packers,
And not
man.
only
It's
that, they get 2 first-round picks. Rick, the Packers are going to be good. That's going to be late first round. You're not going to get a really elite player with those
no,
picks. And
yeah,
not only that, you trade him to a team in your conference. In your conference. You're going to have to play this guy at least once a year, likely twice. I mean,
yeah.
you, oh my God, you couldn't have traded him to the Browns? You couldn't have traded him to the Jaguars? That would make sense to me. If you got 2 first-rounders from the Browns who are going to be awful,
Yeah.
and you were going to get 2 top 10 picks plus whatever first-round picks you had, based on whatever season you had, though, that you could have had, that would have been a move. It still would have been idiotic in my opinion, but at least there would be some logic towards, you know, drafting a bunch of elite talent for the future. You are trading to a team in your conference that smoked you 2 years ago in one of the bloodiest playoff games I've ever seen. A team that is in your conference and that is really good for an extended period of time, and you're not going to get elite draft picks
No, I mean,
from that team.
yeah.
I just
I understand they got 2 first rounders, but unless these 4 first rounders are getting are the next, like, Tom Brady and Justin Jefferson, they're like, there's just no way that
exactly.
you can ever, like, it's just I don't understand it.
And it also doesn't make sense why you trade him now. Why not trade him
Right.
in March?
Exactly, yeah.
And you sign George Pickens. George Pickens isn't a deal you sign if you're rebuilding. Trading Micah Parsons, a 26-year-old future Hall of Famer in his prime, is a move you make if you're rebuilding. You're not rebuilding. Not with the George Pickens move, not with extending Dak the way you did, not with extending CeeDee Lamb the way you did. It is a decision so devoid of logic that one can only reason it was made purely because Micah Parsons hates Jerry Jones's guts.
Yeah, and I mean, Michael Parsons did say he wasn't gonna sit out during the season, like, he was gonna play. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Because, like, they
Yeah,
didn't reach on a deal, but he was still gonna play.
yeah, and he even confirmed. Jerry Jones confirmed in an interview that he wanted to franchise tag him, and it's like that. You realize you're supposed to negotiate with the man and give him money, right?
Yeah, yeah, like, he's gonna wanna get paid.
You can't franchise tag him. I mean, just unbelievable naivete. But you know what? I got to tell you, it's Dallas. I don't care. I don't care. I hope Jerry is the GM forever. I hope Jerry runs that team for. I hope we cryogenically freeze him like Lennon, and he runs this team forever. That would make me so happy.
Runs
Truly,
it from the ice block.
seriously. My God, the ice block will be in the middle of the draft day telecast. They're gonna cut to the Cowboys room, and it's just gonna be Jerry in an ice block in the middle of the room. Oh my God. Just just unbelievable. Um but yeah, as for the Packers, I gotta tell you, I think JJ McCarthy is shitting himself right now.
Yeah.
Dude, Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons going after you. I would be a scared little boy if I were him. That Vikings
Yeah.
line is not going to be able to hold both of them back because they're going to have to double team Micah, which will give Gary's going to have 10 sacks this year. You know, it's such a good move for the Packers. It's such a bad move for the Cowboys. It was something that we're not normally going to be covering news on Catching the Facts. But that was news that the two of us were like, we have to talk about it. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
We have to break down exactly how awful of a move this is, and laugh at the Cowboys because as Western Pennsylvania natives, we love to laugh at the Cowboys. The bulk of our audience will too. You know, we got to feed the beast and give the people what they want, and what the people want is Cowboys hate. You know, so
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, these 2 teams are meeting week 4 too, so in prime time, I mean, it's gonna be a good game.
that game, they are going. It's going to be a 35-point game. It's gonna be a bloodbath. But yeah, I mean that's really kind of all I have to say on Parsons. What about you?
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think we've said enough, honestly, like,
Yeah, really. Well,
there's only so much you can say.
yeah, we'll be able to go a little bit more into it next week once
Mhm.
games start.
Yeah.
Specifically Thursday night, which as of recording is tomorrow is in 2 days. Um, Tomorrow, it'll Thursday night football will be tomorrow when you guys are hearing this. But we'll be able to talk about the Eagles Cowboys matchup on Thursday night football, and
Mhm.
it's gonna be an interesting game to at least glance at. I suspect it'll be over by halftime, and I'll be able to turn it off. But we'll see what happens there. Okay, guys. So again, the bulk of this podcast this week is going to be breaking down week 1 of NCAA. And right now we have 5 games that the two of us really wanted to break down. As I said, I'm a Penn State fan. We're not going to be talking about Penn State every week because Penn State, these first few games for Penn State are absolute jokes. I mean, I don't want to talk about Nevada football. I don't. Eric, do you want to talk about Nevada football?
No, and nobody wants to listen to it either,
That's
so
what I thought. So, yeah, nothing to say about Penn State. The new transfer receivers look promising, but we can't really make a determination until they play a quality opponent. So, we'll put a pin in that and yeah, we'll move on. So, the first game we want to talk about is Eric, your guys, Ohio State.
yeah, man, they looked real good out there. Their defense looks legit. You know, even after they won 14-7 against Texas at home, but look, man, their defense looks legit even after losing 8 defensive players to the draft. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it was it was a fun game to watch for sure.
I said at the beginning of the offseason, letting Jim Knowles go will really hurt them. And I still thought that it was silly that they let him walk, to Penn State of all places.
Yeah.
But my God, say what you will about his tenure at the Lions, and honestly, you can wax poetic about that for hours. Matt Patricia understands defense like the back of his hand. The man is
Yeah.
genuinely a gifted coordinator, and when you put him with a coach who knows what he's doing in Ryan Day, my God, the what I watched from that defense was impressive, to say the very least. Yeah, defensively they looked so freaking good, so good.
Yeah, they did. Matt Patricia definitely knows what he's doing. I love that move. Yeah, man, he and especially like you said, once you pair him up with Ryan Day, I mean, it's a 1-2 punch, and, it's gonna be tough for teams to stop this year, and especially coming out the gate, they had, a chip on their shoulder, losing to Michigan last year and then winning the national championship, but you and whatever any I don't care what anyone says about Ryan Day. If you're not saying he's a top 5 coach in the country, you're ridiculous. I mean, these last like what, 5 yeah, the last 5 games, they had to go through the gauntlet of the best college football teams in the country, and he proved himself. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So,
Like, normally, I would
um,
call Steve Sarkisian a better coach. I think offensively, Steve Sarkisian is a genius. Like, the man is a truly gifted offensive guru. Ryan Day outcoached him from the
yeah,
first minute to the last minute. I mean, it just outmaneuvering him, out scheming him at every single step.
it was really impressive. I was honestly, like, I was really impressed with the 4th down stops that Ohio State had, especially in their own end, man. Like, they were on their own 5 and, backs against the wall, they stopped them. Texas was only 1 for 5 on 4th down efficiency.
Yeah, just really, really, really difficult game for Texas to overcome. I guess we should kind of talk about Arch Manning.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple
for
starts.
sure.
He had a couple starts last year against who was it? UNLV, and then like one other like out non-conference game. You can't really judge a player on those games. So this was his like basically his first start, and he looked
Yeah.
like a deer in headlights. It was rough.
Yeah, yeah, it was bad, really bad, actually. I mean, 17 for 30, 170 yards, touchdown, interception. It was ugly. I know they lost some wide receiver talent with, Matthew Golden and Isaiah Bond, but I mean, it's still Texas. You know what I mean? Like, you still have to show up. And I understand he played a few games last year, looked good. Um, but I feel like it's too early to say that he sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because it's only week 1. You throw him into the wolves in the first game of the year against Ohio State.
on the road.
So on the road, yeah.
Yeah,
So, but he did not look good. You know what I mean?
no.
Like it was bad.
Like he had, and also for all the hype I heard about his running ability, he had one run for like 14, 15 yards. And other than
Yeah,
that, he was a useless running.
yeah.
Like it's like I thought he was a dual threat. Where's the duel in, in the threat?
Where's the threat? Where's the threat?
Exactly. Like when he throws off platform, he doesn't have a weak arm, but he has an inaccurate one. Um,
Very inaccurate, yeah,
he's
and that hurt them.
Yeah, he's pretty good at reading a pre-snap defense, but he's young. He's going to learn that. It's hard to judge him off one game, but Steve Sarkisian knew exactly what he was doing, asking him to go on the road at Ohio State to start this season. So while I do agree with you that we should maybe cut him a little bit of slack, I don't fully agree with the idea that we should be completely excusing him because
No, no, no.
I refuse to believe that Steve Sarkisian did not inform him what exactly he was going to be doing. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah, I mean, he knew what he had to do, and he just didn't execute. I mean, it's as simple as that. Um, I mean, like, it was embarrassing almost to watch that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Arch Manning, I mean, we'll obviously be, I'm sure, talking about Texas in future weeks, and we'll be able to see
Mhm.
how Manning evolves as a passer. But it was rough. As for Julian Sand, they made a lot of hype about him. Saban leaves Alabama. Saban recruited him to Alabama. Sand enters the portal the next day.
Yeah.
So clearly that Saban had his eyes on this kid very early on in his high school career. Tells me, and obviously Nick Saban knows a lot about quality quarterbacks.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
um, I knew that when he wanted away from DeBoer, we'll be talking about Kalen DeBoer in just a couple of minutes. Don't you worry. Um, Tells me Julian Sand has talent, but I got to tell you, based on what I saw on Saturday afternoon, I think he still has a lot to learn. He wasn't bad. He didn't hurt the team, but I would argue he didn't really help them. To be honest with you, I think he just kind of served as a stopgap. And I think he will evolve into a leader. But honestly, Eric, I don't think he's quite there just yet.
No, I don't think so either. He's not yeah, like you said, he's not there just yet. Yeah, I mean, it was his, this is his team now. He knows what he has to do, and He's got talent around him to do it. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, Cornell Tate, even Brandon Innes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand Texas's defense is, top, I don't know,
10.
10 in the country. Yeah,
Yeah.
top 10 in the country.
Yeah.
It's a big ask, but you're playing at home. I mean, you
Exactly.
gotta you gotta give the people what they want. I don't mind how he played. I don't think he played as bad as Arch Manning at all. I mean, he looked good. He was going through his reads and making smart decisions. Once he kinda settles in a little bit, like, both these quarterbacks they have to settle in. I think once he settles in, this connection to Jeremiah Smith will be dead.
Yeah, like, I was just about to bring him up. Jeremiah Smith, for all the Heisman hype this year, the two Heisman candidates that were in this game played really poorly. Arch Manning didn't play well, and Jeremiah Smith didn't play well. I do not believe for a second that Jeremiah Smith lost ability. I blame that entirely on San.
Mhm.
I like Jeremiah Smith is truly a he's better than Marvin Harrison. He's a truly once in a generation talent. Um, he what was it, 6 receptions for 40 yards or something like that? You don't
Yeah, 43 yards, yeah.
43 yards. You do not have a box score like that if you're Jeremiah Smith and that's entirely your fault. You know what I'm saying? That is I think San's going to have to really workshop that relationship because I agree with you. Once you get on the same page as Jeremiah Smith, you will be golden. I mean, look at how far, you know, uh other people have gotten with Jeremiah Smith, not just the quarterback position, but everyone. He makes everyone around him better. So, I mean, not just Will Howard is my point. I just that I think Ohio State has improvements to be made, which is crazy to say because they beat the number one team in the country. But I think a large portion of that, I think it did show Ohio State's weaknesses. Um, but I do think they can, and I fully believe they will get better. That defense is so good. All you have to do is clean up some stuff on offense.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, defense, yeah, they're great. But I agree, yeah, offense needs some work. I mean, look, the running backs. I mean, 19, CJ Donaldson, 19 carries, 67 yards and a touchdown. That's not great. Not what you want to see out of your running back one. Um, but they lost talent at the running back position. I mean, they had the 1-2 punch last year with Judkins and Travion Henderson.
Uh huh.
They get drafted, so it's pretty much a whole new team.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's where Ohio State really screwed the pooch this offseason because now Penn State has undeniably the best running back room in the Big Ten. And you're going to be going there. Excuse me, you're going to have to be playing Penn State at home this year. Um, I think there's a good chance that the Penn State running backs outrun the Ohio State running backs, and that's not what you want to do. So if that happens, and again, I think the odds of that happening are pretty good. With all due respect to C.J. Donaldson, you're going to have Sayan out throw Aller by 200 yards. And I think he has easily has the ability to do that. But again, I don't fully see it just yet.
Mhm.
I think he has. I think there's a little bit of improvement to be made. But this is a very good team. You know, grass is green, water is wet. We're not telling the listeners anything they don't know, but I think improvements can be made and should be made. Quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's only week 1. I mean, it's only up from here. I mean, that's a huge win, you know what I mean? Like, huge win, I love it. Um,
Well, obviously you do.
yeah, but
um,
no, I mean, yeah, they still got some things to prove, some kinks to work out, and now I think, you know, look, they just ran through the gauntlet, like I said earlier, with those 5 teams in the or 5, 4 teams in the playoffs and now Texas here.
yeah,
They deserve Grambling State this week.
yeah, yeah. I think, I think the next few games are going to be very good at scheming for them. Actually, looking at their
Yes.
schedule, the next four, I think Grambling, Ohio, Washington, and Minnesota are all great scheming games. Just test some stuff out, see what works, see what doesn't, develop those relationships. If you're smart, you play those games as basically preseason games. Obviously, there are no preseason games in college, but you know what I'm saying. And just
No,
just
yeah.
work, just workshop stuff. Workshop stuff. You know you're gonna win. So You just workshop and see what works, and by the time you play Illinois, have the receivers at 100%. That's what you
For
do.
sure.
So
Yeah.
if Ryan Day's smart, that's what he works on.
Yeah, the main thing, man, just keeping these guys healthy because that's the hardest part.
Sure, sure, but I mean, injuries are always fluky, man.
Yep.
You can't plan for them. No matter how hard you try, it's a roll of the dice. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens there. But yeah, really good win for Ohio State.
Mhm.
Texas, not horrible, horrible, horrible. Their defense wasn't awful, but
No, their defense was great, I think. I mean,
yeah, yeah, but they have some work to do. So we'll see if
they did, yeah,
Legion can.
especially Arch Manning.
Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy that we're saying that about a Steve Sarkisian team. We need their offense needs to improve. It's like Steve
Yeah,
Sarkisian's supposed to get the offense on the same page in July,
right.
but that's not the way the cookie crumbled, and we'll see how both teams evolve from here.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all I have to say about that game. What about you?
Yep, yep.
Okay, guys, so we are now moving on to number 8, Alabama, who visited the sorry and pathetic Florida State Seminoles. Eric, what was going on in that game?
Yeah, so the Florida State Seminoles, the sorry Florida State Seminoles, beat Alabama Crimson Tide 31-17. Huge upset. Alabama plummets in the AP poll to 21,
They
and
should
Florida
be
State jumps to 14.
they should be out. They should be unranked. Let's just be totally honest. They should be unranked. Oh my god. I was
This was a
watching this, Eric. I was watching this. I didn't know I didn't understand what I was watching. Like
no.
Thomas Castellanos was decent at BC, but like I did not think
Yeah,
he could do that against Alabama. I was like, what am I watching? It was crazy.
yeah. No, he looked good, man, especially on the ground.
Yeah.
With that rushing touchdown he had.
Yeah, man.
And if that's really the key difference because I mean, you look at their roster, they're not stacked with talent at all.
No,
They were terrible last year.
awful.
So this is a big surprise to Kalen DeBoer and Alabama.
Yeah. I think what do you think of Ty Simpson? I thought he was passable.
I mean, yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was fine.
He had 254 yards. Yeah, you look at that and you think, "Oh, wow, he had a great game," but he threw it 43 times. I mean, that's like Jameis Winston.
How long has it been since Alabama couldn't run? I can't even think the last.
Oh, I can't even remember. I mean, it's
I
been a
mean,
really long time.
they've had so many great running backs the last 15, 20 years. I just
Yeah.
it's crazy to see an Alabama team that can't run the ball. Um, let's be honest. This whole conversation is about Kalen DeBoer. Um,
Mhm.
this man was brought in from a Pac-12 school that went to the national championship, and we should give him props for that. But co- recruiting in the SEC, and more specifically, coaching in the SEC, is a much different animal. It is just a different beast, man. You can't just apply your Pac-12 headspace to the SEC. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. I mean, and you look at the talent he had at Washington, with Michael Penix, but now that it's becoming more of his team and, Saban's guys are leaving, obviously, because they don't wanna, I mean, I understand they have Ryan Williams. That's great.
Yeah,
But, he didn't even look that great, you know what I mean? He didn't look that good
he didn't.
last week.
No, he didn't. It was. You know what? It kind of reminded me of Florida State last year, where a lot of us were expecting them to follow up their undefeated season.
Yes.
Not to say Alabama was undefeated last year; they most certainly were not. That Vanderbilt loss will live in infamy.
Forever
Um,
haunt them, yeah.
it will, because honestly, I think that's going to be noted as like the beginning of the doubt towards Kalen DeBoer. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, you just Michael Penix is going to be a passable NFL quarterback, but Michael Penix, let's be honest, could not survive in the SEC.
No, 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 no.
Like
No,
again,
no.
it's just a different animal, and
It
Kalen
is.
DeBoer is not built for it, man. He's just not. And we say that even though he lost to an ACC school, we're talking about, he can't compete in the SEC. Florida State's an ACC school, and they were more physical. They were more determined. The sideline was full of life. Mike Norvell
Yeah.
looked like he had sparkles in his eyes the entire game. Kalen DeBoer looked like he was dead inside. I felt like I was watching I felt like I was watching an FCS school. I mean, it was ridiculous. And this is Alabama. This is a team with and a program with such a storied, remarkable history. Uh,
Yes.
Going back to Bear Bryant and to do that against a team coming off a 2-10 season with a quarterback who came from Boston College and is, let's be honest, not a top tier quarterback at all. To do that, oh, that's bad, man. That is a bad, bad, bad.
It was really it was really bad, and, like, I said before, like, Ryan Williams, he didn't look good, but he looked, like, scared almost. If you go back and watch it, he was, like, running across the middle of the field, he looked terrified. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like he didn't wanna take a hit, and that was not the Ryan Williams we saw last year. He would run up, go catch whatever.
yeah,
He may be a little sophomore slump for him. I know it's crazy to say already, but
yeah. I mean, honestly, last year Ryan Williams, if not for Jeremiah Smith, he'd probably won the Heisman. I mean, he was so good last year, and he looked like a completely different player. And again, Ty Simpson had 254 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, so you can't fully blame it on the quarterback. This is all Kalen DeBoer. This is his coaching, um, and it really, really came up short. It was really, really bad. Do you? I guess we'll leave the conversation here. Do you think this is truly the end of the road for Alabama as a big time program?
um, man, that's a heavy that's a heavy thing to say because,
I
like,
understand that, but this is over a year now where Kalen DeBoer has been coming up short against unranked schools.
yeah. No, I mean, it just sounds crazy to say, but it's not actually crazy. I mean, they can't they just can't win. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I know why, it's Kalen DeBoer, but, like, it's just unreal. I can't believe that it's like
Yeah,
Alabama. And I think when they play Georgia September 27th, it's gonna be really bad for Alabama.
dude,
Um,
when they play Georgia, Georgia is going to freaking annihilate them.
yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be vicious. I just Kalen DeBoer in 13 games at Alabama as many has lost as many games to unranked schools as Nick Saban did in his entire tenure at Alabama.
Yep.
Think about that. 13 games, ranked schools. That's crazy. That is
It's
insane.
terrible,
Just
terrible.
oh,
And,
yeah.
I mean, if this is the start of Alabama's downfall, kids don't wanna go there anymore because we saw that a lot. When Saban retired, a lot of guys hit the transfer portal and left
Yeah,
because they
say it
wanted to
being
play for
one of them.
Saban. They didn't wanna play for Kalen DeBoer, you know what I mean? I understand it's Alabama, but it's just like it's starting to show right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. Recruiting's going to be a real problem, especially with the way NIL is set up now. You've
Yes.
got you've got you basically have to create a new roster each year. So it's going to be really hard for DeBoer to do that. I'm not going to be one to call for his termination or anything, but yeah, it's not looking good. I think, and also I don't think they fire him after this year or anything. That would be
No, 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 they'll keep him.
yeah. I think
But,
he'll at the very least have 2026 to prove himself.
yeah, I mean, yes, this is possibly the downfall for Alabama, but I think it's honestly the downfall of the SEC.
Okay, that's a statement. Damn.
Um, they were very top heavy coming into the season, and I think I just think the Big Ten is the best conference in college football.
So do you think the SEC is what, Texas, Georgia, and
Yeah, like, well, honestly, Texas just lost to Ohio State.
yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, I think the
That's a
Big
very
Ten
good
is
point.
is a better conference than The SEC just has more talent. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, the Big Ten has right now the top two, right, in OSU and PSU. Their Oregon looked really solid in week one. Um, yeah, it's gonna. You know what? You might be onto something. I'm not willing to. I'm not confident enough to say that this week, but I got to tell you, after how LSU played, um, uh, uh, I think the SEC still has a good, decent stronghold. Um,
yeah, and
but
then
but
but yeah,
The Big Ten is definitely on its way to
it's
passing
on
the.
its way up. It's on the come up because now everyone can pay their players legally, so it's on
Yeah,
the come
tell
up.
me about it. Well, honestly, speaking of LSU, do you want to go on to that game? Do you have anything else on this one?
Yeah, I mean, oh well, I guess Ryan Williams also got hurt in this game too. He
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
in
I
uh
forgot about that. You're right.
he's in concussion protocol, so hopefully he's okay. You just hate to see that.
Yeah, concussion protocol. I mean, you never know how long that'll be.
Yeah, I think they're just being cautious.
He's
I
too
think he'll play.
talented.
I think he's gonna play versus Georgia.
Sure, but he's too talented to play again. Who do they play next week?
LA Monroe. I don't think they're gonna play him.
Don't play him. Let him
No.
sit.
Let him sit, play against Wisconsin, and then, for a little get back game and then get ready
Okay.
for the big one.
I
But
just pulled up their schedule. Yeah, Wisconsin looks okay. I mean, they look
yeah.
watchable. I mean, Luke Fickle isn't a great coach, but he's decent. But
Yeah.
honestly, based on how Alabama looked last week, they're probably going to need Ryan Williams for that game.
Yeah.
Um, then yeah, at Georgia, Vanderbilt at home, at Missouri. Uh-oh. If I'm Kalen DeBoer, I'm watching out for that one. Tennessee at home. Tennessee's going to smoke them. At South Carolina, I don't even need to watch it. LSU at home. Good God. And Oklahoma at home. Good God. Yeah, dude, you know what? They might have 5 losses.
Yeah.
They
I think
might
they'll
have
win one of these ranked games, but yeah.
They might have 5 losses. That's really bad. That is, oh, what a fall. It's crazy though in this sport because honestly, anything can happen. But in this sport, so many crazy things that you would never imagine could happen do happen. And seeing what we could interpret as the fall of Alabama is pretty shocking. Yeah, I'll be curious to see how they play against Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's going to be a big test. If Wisconsin beats them, I think the other schools like Vanderbilt should be on upset alert.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Vanderbilt's honestly on the come up as well. I mean, they beat them last year. So,
Very true.
but yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna move on to number 9 LSU, who was visiting number 4 Clemson. What do you have on that game?
Yeah, this was a great game up until the final whistle. I mean,
Awesome game.
just yeah, it was really
Agreed.
fun to watch. I mean, a lot of great play, man. I mean, Garrett Nussmeier entering his final season at LSU, he looked good.
Yeah, yeah. I was not fully buying him. Like you know how they do like the Mel Kiper top quarterback,
Yeah,
like for the
yeah,
draft. Because Nussmeier was eligible to go to the draft last year and he declined, but they were tossing his name out there. And he was in like the top 10. And I was honestly shocked because I was like, Garrett Nussmeier, really? Like, I mean, he's fine. He's not bad. He won't hurt you, but he's not an elite player. But honestly, last night, Saturday night, Saturday night, he looked really freaking good, dude.
yeah,
He was a leader. He controlled that offense. He did exactly what the quarterback is supposed to do. He was the
yes.
leader on that field. Everyone knew what to do. I mean, he controlled every single offensive drive, even if they didn't score. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, and their defense looked good too. I mean, obviously top 10 matchup, but this was really impressive from the LSU defense.
Yeah, Cade Klubnik. I we'll talk about another Heisman finalist who didn't play well. Cade Klubnik. I've never been on the Cade Klubnik train.
No, no, me
Um,
neither.
I got to tell you, walking into the stadium, you know how they have the cheerleaders and whatnot, cheering them on as they walk in with their suits. He looked so punchable walking into that stadium. Dude, he looked so unpleasant that I was like, I don't want to watch you. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, why do you? I was like, no, 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 no. It was tough to watch. But yeah, no, Klubnik did not play well. Um, uh, Caden Durham was excellent for LSU. I mean, he didn't have a lot of long runs, but every time they needed a short run on third and short, he delivered, and that is very, very valuable.
Yes.
So I thought from that perspective, you're not going to see a flashy stat line, but Durham was excellent.
Yeah, yeah. If you just look at his stats, you're gonna think, okay, I mean, he had an okay game, but he played great.
He was great.
Came up big. Then this LSU team, just in general, like everybody, just came up big when they needed it most.
Yeah. Brian Kelly is always known for having a really good win here and there, which is why everyone still calls him a really good coach, even though he doesn't have a championship, a national championship. But he's obviously lost the last couple season openers for LSU against very good opponents, and this was the first one that he won. So congrats to him. Yay, Brian. Woohoo, you're not a total failure. Um, but he did a good job. I thought he knew what to how to control the game, helped Nussmeier out a lot. He's clearly really close with Nussmeier. I mean, the two of them very clearly have a strong rapport. And again, it radiated off of the offensive drive. I don't think I have enough nice things to say about their offense, even though they only scored 17 points.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
offense was really, really good.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it was really good. It was really good. Um, I mean, it was just really impressive to just like, because I mean, they're going in there and and they're playing away. It makes it even harder.
Yeah. And
And
Clemson's a
Clemson
tough
honestly
place
just
to
fell short.
Yeah. Clemson's a tough place to play. It's not an easy stadium to walk into. Swinney understands the sport like the back of his hand, so you're playing a very experienced coach. Um and yeah, they really delivered. I was for the first time since the Joe Burrow year, I was genuinely impressed with LSU.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like for the
No,
first
yeah.
time I watched that team and I really liked what I saw. So
Yeah.
I think that is speaks volumes, quite frankly, to what this team can accomplish moving forward. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, they're and like, you don't really look at LSU, like, and see a great defense too often, but in this game, they looked amazing. I mean, they only held, Clemson to 31 rushing yards.
yeah, that's remarkable. That's remarkable because Clemson can run. They always have decent running games. And I'm looking at LSU's schedule. Next week they play Louisiana Tech. What a waste of time for all of us. None of us are going to watch that. But home against Florida, that's going to be a fun watch, especially with how Billy Napier has improved that team. I thought Billy Napier's career was done at Florida. He has resurrected that program, and that program looks pretty solid. So that'll be a fun game to watch. At Ole Miss, South Carolina at home, A&M at home, at Alabama, at Oklahoma. They've got some really solid games on the schedule, but they don't play the heavyweights in the SEC. They don't play Texas or Georgia,
Yeah.
which is going to be, we're going to have to wait till a potential SEC championship game to see that. But yeah, this LSU team is very promising. You could make a case that this was the hardest game on their schedule, and they won it. So that's if Nussmeier continues to command this offense the way I saw him command the offense on Saturday night, look out for LSU.
Yeah. Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah,
And they move up to 3 in the AP poll as well.
three in the A people, they deserve it, man. They were really good. As for Clemson, I this is a really hard one for me because obviously Swinney's great. But this schedule, my God, Troy at home, at Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech, they aren't scrubs. They're decent. Syracuse at home, at North Carolina, at BC, home against SMU, Florida State at home, and at South Carolina. They've got a much tougher schedule than LSU. Um, and because even the unranked teams that they play aren't that bad. I mean, Syracuse. I
No, a
mean,
lot of these teams could get
yeah,
ranked.
Syracuse didn't look awful. Um, they didn't look great. I mean, they definitely missed Kyle McCord, right? But I mean, Syracuse against Tennessee. I mean, they still scored 27 points on Tennessee, so they're not that bad. offensively. So Syracuse, that's going to be not going to be an easy game. I think Clemson fans should be nervous. I really think they should be nervous because that was rough. Um, but yeah, I think LSU's looking really promising.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, what do you have anything else on this one?
No.
Okay, this was the game of the week in my opinion. Notre Dame, number 6 Notre Dame on the road against number 10 Miami. Eric, what do you have on that?
Yeah, just such an evenly matched game and a great game at that. Miami wins it 27-24, and just, it was such a fun game to watch. I was waiting all day for that one, and it delivered.
You watched men revive their careers.
Yes.
Mario Cristobal and Carson Beck saved their careers
Oh, Carson Beck,
in
man.
front of your eyes. You watched
Yeah,
them.
I thought Carson Beck, it was an interesting decision. I wasn't really on board with him, and honestly, at Georgia, I didn't really like him that much, but he proved himself. He looked great out there under the
Yeah,
lights. It was, really I was really impressed by him.
back what he was really good in his first year, but last year he was awful, awful. And he honestly, what was I think I would not be surprised if a lot of Miami fans were like, Beck just came here for the money. He doesn't really care. He's going to be just as bad as he was. But I think the move, it was the best thing that ever happened to him, man. He looked re energized. His post game interview, he clearly cared, which is not something I could say about his feelings towards Georgia football last year. He looked like a completely different player. He was excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Yeah, and, CJ Carr too, he looked good. I
He
mean,
did.
both these quarterbacks are really impressive, and,
Props to
you know
CJ Carr for such a young quarterback and leading a comeback. I mean, they were down big. And down what 21-7 at one point, and he led a big time fourth quarter, and it's hard for a young quarterback to do that. So props to him.
yeah, huge 4th quarter, I thought 21-7, that's a pretty big deficit to come back after, especially in a top 10 matchup.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But one guy that I kinda wish I saw a little bit more production out of was Jeremiah Love. Yeah, he was nowhere.
Yeah, non-existent. Yeah, he was. I was expecting a lot from him, and they played Jadarian Price just as much
Oh,
because
yeah.
Price I saw on the field for receptions more often than Love.
Yes. Yes.
Just yeah, he was Love was non-existent, especially after how good he was last year. Why not use him? Uh,
Yeah. He had 10 carries, but
yeah, but he should have 20, dude. He should have.
yeah. No, you have to feed them, though, that's why they were down. Like, because CJ Carr's good, but it's not like they have great receivers.
They don't. Not this year.
So,
Not this year.
I
Yeah,
mean
I don't know. I think I'll be curious to see how Notre Dame moves forward from this because last year was obviously a remarkable run to the national championship game. I mean, look, none of us knew they were gonna none of us knew they were gonna win, but uh, getting there was an incredible accomplishment, and their victory over Penn State in the Orange Bowl was ad. They looking at their schedule here, Eric. They've got Texas A&M at home. They've got USC at home, at Boston College, and that's really it. They have a remarkably easy schedule.
yeah.
We'll see if they can take advantage of that. They're obviously not going to play in a conference title game, which is going to hurt them. But this was the toughest game on their schedule, to be fair, and they did lose it. Um, but my gut tells me, and I have nothing to prove this, but honestly, Eric, my gut tells me that they're going to choke one of these non-conference games. They're going to choke to Arkansas, or they're going to choke to NC State. They're going to lose a game that they should win.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, look, they lost to Navy last year, you know what I mean? So, anything could happen any given Saturday, but,
They look.
yeah, like, but, I mean, really, their schedule, they should win pretty much all their
They
games. Like, their
should.
schedule's easy on paper.
They should. I mean, honestly, Pitt could beat them.
Yeah.
Like they anything can happen. So watch out for in Fighting Irish fans. It's not you're not out of the woods. It's not over. But if I'm Marcus Freeman, I'm you know crossing my T's and dotting my I's at practice each day. Um, as for Miami, that was huge for them too. They
Huge
have
win, especially Mario Cristobal.
yeah he. after choking that game against who was it where he ran the ball and fumbled when he should have just kneeled and it,
Well, I think that was Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. That I thought he was done, but he
That was so.
it wasn't so bad. That was guys. That was before we did this show. That game. If you know, you know. But Cristobal, I mean, that was his best win at Miami by far and away. Huge win. Looking at their schedule, they got Florida at home, Florida State on the road, and SMU on the road. That's basically it in terms of solid opponents. They none of those games are going to be easy, but they can win all of them. So Miami fans should be excited because if Carson Beck keeps playing like this, they're going.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to see a major regress after Cam Ward leaves, but
I did too.
we didn't. I mean, okay, it's only week 1, but still, I mean, Carson Beck really he really impressed me. I thought I mean, I didn't think he was that good. Like,
Dude, they
like
played they
last year, he was
played the
terrible
number
at it.
six. Yeah, they played the number 6 team in the country, and they they outplayed them in
Yeah.
the for 3 out of the 4 quarters. The only quarter they didn't outplay them in was the fourth quarter, but by then it was a big enough deficit, and it was too late for Notre Dame to come back. I mean, Miami really impressed me. That was the best win of Mario Cristobal's career.
Yeah, really impressive win, and, hey, man, we also might have saw the catch of the year with CJ Daniels.
Dude, slow mo is the most obvious interception you've ever seen.
Yeah.
That is an incredible catch. I have a hard time believing it won't be catch of the year, to be honest with you, just because of how many defenders were in the area.
And especially,
Um,
like, in, like, that point of the game too, like,
yeah,
in, like, top 10 matchup, it's
yeah, man, it was
you
just
have to catch that.
yeah, yeah. I couldn't agree more. Just from top to bottom, a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, great win for Miami. Excellent game, easily the game of the week. Okay, that's all I have to say about that one. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, that's it. Let's move to this
My
whatever this
God.
was.
Okay, guy. Just to well, okay. Well, I guess we'll introduce it. TCU on the road against North Carolina. They went at North Carolina. Eric, stay what you need to, and let's move on with our lives.
Yeah, look, so much hype coming into this game, man. Bill Belichick returns to coaching, making his college debut,
Yep.
whatever, 30 some years to the day um from his NFL debut, which he also lost. Um but they looked I mean, look, okay, the first drive, Gio Lopez and just UNC in general looked really good. They looked really good. I thought, okay, this is going to be a good game, settle in. And then it just got so bad. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, TCU was just they were doing anything. Josh Hoover, by the way, looked amazing, coming in, just chip on your shoulder, everyone's pretty much hoping that you kinda fail because they wanna see Bill Belichick get a win here, and he proved himself. He's really good. 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception, yeah, but great game
Yeah.
from Josh Hoover.
That North Carolina team was unwatchable. They were unwatchable. I couldn't watch it. I did anything and everything but try to pay attention. And we actually delayed the recording of this podcast so that we could talk about this game. And so I knew that it was my responsibility to pay attention, but I couldn't pay attention. I couldn't watch it, man. Every time I laid 2 eyes on the screen on my TV, my brain cells started to rot away. My sanity started to deplete at a rapid rate. And I could feel myself getting dumber. I mean, I don't know how this is the same Bill Belichick who won 6 titles in the NFL. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. I mean, it is embarrassing. It's not a team. Let's make that clear. This is not a North Carolina football team. This is a bunch of hired transfers
Yeah,
got
yeah.
money from the program. None of them are familiar with each other. None of them probably even like each other. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear a controversy about one of them sleeping with another's girlfriend in a month. Like something's gonna happen with this group, man. They are not gonna work out. It is a disaster. Say what you will, and I know a lot of people are going to compare. Oh, Deion Sanders went 4-8 his first year. It took him a while to recover. and make Colorado a decent team. That's very true. But I
Mm,
would like to add that Colorado came out really strong and beat a couple really decent teams, and they looked promising. And then the hype got
yeah,
to their
and
heads. There's a difference.
yeah, I don't think you can even compare them because like, it's not like, yeah, Colorado had talent with, Travis Hunter and Shador, but it's not like they were flipping guys, like, I mean, Bill Belichick and UNC, they were flipping guys from, like, top like, Ohio State he flips a guy from Ohio State, got top recruits in the country, and to perform like this, it was an embarrassment.
Yeah, they're a joke. I think we need to see more before we officially make the Colorado comparison, at least in
Yeah,
major
yeah, yeah.
publications. But I'll make the comparison in that North Carolina looks worse because Colorado came out swinging and they had
Yeah.
a remarkable talent in Travis Hunter. This team does not look like it has that player, and they don't look like a team, man. They look completely. You know what it looked like? It looked like the Jets of last year. The Jets of last year had a lot of really good players, but they weren't a team. You didn't feel like you were watching a football team when you watched the Jets of 2024. And as a result, they were awful. And I think it's the same thing here, man. They might have decent players here and there, but they aren't a team, and that's the worst place you can be.
Yeah, and look, I understand they were trying to establish the run, but you have to abandon the run at some point. I mean, Caleb Hood, 10 carries for 31 yards. That's not gonna cut it. That was terrible. And a touchdown that came late in garbage time. Who cares? Um, Gio Lopez, he looked horrible. I understand he got hurt, which hopefully he is okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
haven't heard anything today, but I was
yeah,
busy.
so
I was busy getting this show up and running, so I wasn't looking at the news. So if there was an update, I didn't hear.
well, UNC, they don't like give out like injury updates, but when he did like go into the tunnel, he, collapsed or whatever when he walked through the door. So, hopefully it's not super serious, but honestly, I thought Max Johnson was better. Um, I think he played better. He came out firing, led them down the field in a mannerable fashion. I think it was good. I would say Max Johnson is the guy moving forward.
Probably, probably.
Because I mean, like at one point when Gio was in the game, there was at one point he that UNC didn't complete a pass for 2 hours.
Yeah,
So it was just like it was ridiculous. Um, even like yeah, I understand they were trying to establish the rush, the running game, but even their running backs didn't even play good.
yeah,
But Kavorian Barnes on TCU side, he played great. 11 carries, 113 yards, and a touchdown. He
yeah.
was just running people over.
Yeah, I'm not willing to say TCU is back to where they were when they got annihilated in the national championship to Georgia a few years ago, but they looked better than they were last year. Last year they were a corpse of a team. They weren't even that bad last year. They were just completely irrelevant, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
this team looks better, especially from a rushing perspective. We'll see if they can continue this momentum. Let me look at their schedule here. I'm pulling it up now. I haven't looked.
It's probably fairly easy. I don't think it's not
Yeah,
anything crazy.
SMU, okay, SMU and Arizona State, because I don't
And
think
then
Iowa
Iowa.
State. I
Iowa
don't
State.
think Iowa State is super good. So they can go. They might only lose 3 or 4 games, which isn't that bad.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I think they'll lose 3 games.
Yeah,
But they're gonna win one of these ranked ones,
they'll
though.
win one of the ranked ones. I think they lose to BYU. That would be my guess for their unranked loss. But yeah, the TC's not that bad.
No.
They're not great, but they're not that bad. I think that, but again, we can say whatever we want about TCU. We kind of know what TCU will be. Last year, not considered. North Carolina, guys, dear God, I hope Bill Belichick can make this team a team. Honestly, that's my takeaway. They aren't a team, man.
Yeah.
They aren't.
I
It's
mean, like,
hard to watch.
it was, yeah, that was really bad, and now they got a little bit of an easier game here against Charlotte, but they'll be able to kinda work the kinks out, which there's a lot of them. Figure out this quarterback situation. I don't think Gio Lopez will even play, to be honest. I don't know how serious the injury was, but with the quick week, I don't think he'll be able to play. Just
Yeah,
for, like, cautious side, but
yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they'll probably sit him. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, North Carolina, complete waste of my time. And honestly, I'll say this on the show. I'm the one who suggested that we wait to record this on Tuesday night so that we could include Bill Belichick's debut. I want to formally apologize to you on the air for subjecting you to that. It is truly a sin that I've committed. I'm so sorry. I just
No, but
so awful subjecting.
look, you would have never known, man. There was so much hype coming in this game, and it was so sad seeing like that was a packed house, and at
They
the
were,
start of the
you
game,
know what's sad? Those fans had hope.
what'd you say?
Those fans had hope. They believed.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They were drinking the Kool-Aid, and then by halfway through the second quarter, they were throwing it up.
Yeah, dude, it was bad, and so like there was it. Honestly, after like the fourth quarter came, it looked like it was like I don't know, like a Grambling State home game. You know, like there was maybe 1,000 people there,
Yeah,
and
it
that
was
place was sold out.
yeah, unwatchable.
It was bad, and you know, if you're paying $20 million for NIL for this football program, you would think you could beat TCU or at least make it a closer game.
Yeah, tell me about it. Just embarrassing.
But I guess not. But good win for TCU. You know, Josh Hoover. I mean, he looked really good.
Yeah,
Kavorian Barnes. But I don't think we're going to be talking about TCU for the rest of the year.
I don't, and
It's,
I don't think that's anything bad on Sonny Dykes. I think Sonny Dykes is.
no, no, not at all.
I just don't think that team has the juice to really
No,
compete in the Big 12.
not yet. At least, not yet.
Yeah. It does
They're
help them
almost
that they
there.
are it does help them that they're in the Big 12. It does help
Yes,
them because that conference is weaker. But yeah, they just aren't they aren't really legitimately going to compete with the Iowa States and the Arizona States. You know, it's just not going to happen. So,
not yet. I mean, you know, they were so bad last year, but give them some time. You know, this team looks good. I think they'll be okay next year too. But
yeah,
you know, they'll get their 5 minutes of fame here. But
exactly. They're fine. They're
yeah,
fine.
they're good.
Yeah, they're good.
UNC, they got a lot to work on. Bill Belichick, you know, I want them to do good. I really do, but
Do you?
yeah, would you okay, here's a question. Do you think like okay, if they suck this year, does this affect Bill Belichick's legacy?
I think it will. Ooh, that's a good question. I'll Let me phrase it this way. I think it will impact the people who claim that Brady did all the work. Um, I think people already had ammo from the Tampa Super Bowl win. I think that this would give them more. Um, the reality is Brady was undeniably the more important member of that partnership. But the other brutal reality is Brady would not have truly gotten there without Bill Belichick. Like he and Belichick just had a relationship that really can't be replicated, and I think that um I think that that's very important um for a team. So, do I think Bill Belichick will have his legacy tainted? I mean, maybe partially, you know, I think to an extent they will, but I don't think that they will. I don't think it'll ruin him. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, yeah. I completely agree.
Bruce Arians is an excellent coach. It's not like Tom Brady had scrubs that he was working with the year they won the Super Bowl. I mean, Brady had Bruce Arians, so I don't know. I maybe a little bit, but the guy still won 6 Super Bowls. You can't put that all squarely on the shoulders of the quarterback.
No, yeah, I agree.
So
I don't think it like yeah, okay, for some people who really hate Bill Belichick, yeah, it'll be like, "Oh, you know, that there goes his all of his Super Bowls and everything." You can't take that away from him just because he's not coaching a good college team.
I agree.
But yeah, they got some work to do. Um, I don't think they're gonna be
Yeah,
like, good this year, but I understand it's week 1, but you can say that for a few teams right now, like Texas and stuff, because they played an elite team, but and like Arch Manning, but this was a really embarrassing loss, especially with all the hype surrounding it. So
Couldn't agree more. Yeah,
yeah,
with all the build up, it was brutal.
and I mean, there was a lot of hype this week too. This was a great week in college football.
This was the best, dude. This was the best Labor Day schedule in
Yeah,
years. Like every year on Labor Day, the Labor Day football schedule is awful, just horrible games. But year we got a ton of top 10 mashups, excuse me, matchups, and it was a blast to watch. Um, Miami Notre Dame was so much fun. I just yeah, it was a good weekend for football.
yeah, for sure. And another thing on the UNC game, it got so bad that Kirk Herbstreit put the headset on his dog. That's how bad this game got.
Dude, I turned it off before that happened. When you texted me, I thought it was a joke.
No,
Mm,
no, it wasn't a joke. He put the headset on
I
Peter,
know it
and he
wasn't a
was just
joke.
calling the game. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and
That
honestly,
that
I was listening to like the bulk of the back half of the fourth quarter, right? And those announced they wanted to talk about anything and everything other than the game. They were over the
yeah,
game. They did not want to
yeah.
be there. They were miserable. It was bad.
Yeah, they were talking about, like, Ohio like, Arch Manning's, like, debut and stuff, and it was just so funny, and you would have never thought with this game and the hype surrounding it that they would ever be talking. No, but, you know, it is what it is, I guess. UNT is just another ACC team, so
Is that it that you have on
yeah.
that game? Okay, guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that is it for episode 1 of the new and improved Catching the Facts. I don't know about you, Eric, but I'm very happy to be back for this season, and
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I will say I looked at next week's schedule. The games suck. They do. I mean, I think the best one is Oregon, Oklahoma State might be a little interesting.
That's a good game.
Um, but overall, the calendar is just awful. Again, our two teams are playing scrubs. I play FIU, you play Grambling. Um, Georgia, which is another one of my teams that I root for, they play another scrub. I don't even remember who they play. I want to say Austin P. Um, so it just
Yeah.
and neither of us like Pitt, so we don't want to talk about Pitt. So we're gonna be scrambling to find some good college games. If there are one or two that we feel are worthy of discussion, we will focus on those. But I think next week we're largely gonna be focusing on NFL, which will be a lot of fun because we weren't
Yes, yeah,
able
a
to,
lot of good games.
yeah, because we weren't able to really focus on the NFL in the last iteration of our show. So we'll be able to do that with you guys next week, and we're both really excited about that. So uh yeah, it'll be really fun. Eric, do you have anything else you wanna add?
I don't, I just wanna thank you for inviting me back to do this. It's a lot of fun, so
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun doing the show with you the last year. And I'm excited for our expanded, the expanded
yeah.
version of our show and getting to talk about more stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for listening. The show is currently available on YouTube and Spotify. We post every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Next week at that time, feel free to listen in. We'll be here. Until then, I'm your host, Dan Sisk,
I'm Eric Schroeder.
and we'll see you then.